Welcome, Rabbi Isai, to a Chazara Shiur on Sugya Chav. Sugya Chav is a short Sugya and pretty straightforward, so let's get started. Sugya Chav goes back to our Mishnah and discusses the opinion of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. The previous Sugyas discussed the opinion of Chachamim. Now we're moving on to the opinion of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. What was the case in our Mishnah? The case in our Mishnah was that the Baal Bayis gives fruits to his friend to watch, to the Shomer, and as he's watching them, they start getting rotten. They start going bad. What is it they want you to do with them? What is it? It says the Mishnah. Tanakama says, Lo yigaber, you shouldn't touch them. Let it rot, that's it. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says, sell them in front of Beis Din. Why? Because these avocados are going to get lost, and it's like returning a lost item to its owner. By selling it, you're actually saving what would get lost. So it's just like Hashavas Aveda. It's just like returning a lost item to its owners. Says our Gemara, and the Gemara starts off by quoting the opinion of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel from the Mishnah, and says, Rabbi Abba bar Yaakov said in the name of Rabbi Yechon, the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Okay, fine. Says the Gemara weiter, onward. Rav in the name of Rabbi Nachman says, actually the halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, the halacha is like Chachamim. Okay, so now, who is the halacha like? Well, it's a machlokes between Amoraim. Who the halacha is like? Okay. Frag the Gemara Kasha on Rabbi Abba bar Yaakov. One sec. You're telling me that Rabbi Yochanan said the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel? That's kind of strange. Didn't Rabbi Yochanan already say it? Didn't he already say once before that the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel? In fact, Rabbi Bar Chana said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan that any place, Kol Mokim, any place, Sheshana Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel b'Mishnah Seder that we learned Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel in our Mishnah, halacha k'maisa, the halacha is like him. Chutz besides for 3 cases, chutz besides chutz me arev besides from a case of arev, a guarantor, v'tzidai and a story that happened in tzidai, v'raya achreina and the last case of proof, which we're going to speak about soon. But the Gemara's question is very simple. It's kind of strange that Rabbi Yochanan said the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. In our Mishnah, Rabbi Yochanan said that the halacha is always like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, besides for like in 3 cases. But Rabbi Yochanan already said this. And why is Rabbi Yochanan saying it specifically about our Mishnah? What's going on? And for the Gemara, this is actually a machlokes. This is actually a machlokes Amoraim. Amoraim are arguing. Rabbi Bar Chana and Rabbi Abba bar Rabbi Yaakov are arguing what is the opinion of Rabbi Yochanan. Again, it's a machlokes Amoraim about what Rabbi Yochanan says. Because Rabbi Bar Chana says, Rabbi Yochanan says it as a rule, as a klal, always. The halacha is always like Rabbi Yochanan, like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. And Rabbi Abba bar Yaakov says, no, Rabbi Yochanan only says it specific times, only sometimes. And our Mishnah is one of those specific times where the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. And that is the end of this sugya. We said that we're going to get back and discuss what are these 3 cases of Arev, Tzaidan, and Raya Achrayim. So let's go ahead. So again, Rabbi Bar Chana said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, any place where we learned Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel in our Mishnah, the halacha is like him, besides for Arev, Tzidain, and Raya Achrayim. What are the cases? Arev, what is the case of a guarantor? If a malva lends money to the loiva, okay, he gives money to him, but he doesn't know if the loiva is going to pay back or not, so he tells the loiva, I want you to bring me a Arev, a guarantor. What does that mean? I want you to bring me someone else who is going to guarantee me the money back. Meaning, if you can't pay, he's going to pay. He's going to for sure give me my money back. Okay, now it comes time to pay, and the loiva, the borrower, says, I don't have money to pay. And now at the same time, the loiva has a cow. So now the malva has 2 options. Either he can go confiscate the loiva stuff, or he can go deal with the arev and say, look, the loiva says I can't pay. Now I'm going to let me collect the money from you. So the machlokes over there is whether the malva needs to first try to collect the cow, or could he go straight to the arev? And it's machlokes between Chachamim and Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. So that's the case of Orev, where the halacha would not be like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. What's the case of Tzidon? Tzidon is actually a place, a city. And there was a story that happened there. And the Chacham argued about that story. What was the story? There was a man who was divorcing his wife. He was unfortunately divorcing his wife, and the get they gave was on condition. What was the condition? The condition was that the wife will will give the husband's coat back to the husband. Or some people will translate it as a rag. If you'll give me a certain rag. But what happened was, it was lost. The coat was lost. So what did she do? She gave money instead of the coat. Just like if I borrow something, I need to pay something back. Okay, so if I borrow something and I lose it, I need to pay it back. Okay, so she paid for the coat. Now the question is she fulfilling the condition or not? Is she divorced or not? If she fulfills the condition, if it is good, then she is divorced. If it does not, if it's not good enough, if she's not fulfilling the condition, if it's not good enough, then she's not divorced and they're still married. She can't go marry someone else yet. She first needs to get the divorce. So the machlekes is whether this is a good condition, whether she's fulfilling the condition or not. And the machlekes is not like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel in that case. And the case of Raya Achrayna, the second case of a proof. What is the case? If you have two people in Din Torah, and they're each trying to bring proofs, and one of them says, I don't have any more proofs. I don't have any more witnesses. I don't have any more documents. I can't prove it. And the Beis Din decide, they make the gavel, they say, okay, they make a psak din, they make a decision. And then this guy says, I have more proof. So do we listen or not? And again, there's a machlekes between Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel and the Chacham, and the halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel in the case of the Raya Achrayna, the last case of a proof. Why is it called the last case of proof? Because there's actually Raya Rishayna, there's actually a first case of proof, where the halacha is, in fact, like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. What was that case? If you have a Beis Din, you have two people in Beis Din, and Beis Din tell a person, you have 30 days to bring proof. And the guy doesn't bring proof within 30 days. So the Beis Din decide the din. They pass in the din. Okay? And then after 30 days, the guy comes and says, 1 second, I have more proof. So do we listen to him or not? And in that case, the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. But in the case of Raya Achrayna and Tzidon and Orev, the halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Let's go and let's learn this Gemara inside. If you're watching this at home, take out your Gemara, look inside. Let's read it verbally, so our full body is engaged in learning the Gemara. Let's put it up on the board. Here we go. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel in the Mishnah Megaland. Earlier in the Mishnah we learned Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says Yemchrem the Beis Din, you should sell the fruits in Beis Din. Because it's like returning the lost item to its owners. Itmar we learned, Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Yaakov, Rabbi Yechon, Rabbi Abba says in the name of Rabbi Yechonon. Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Yaakov says in the name of Rabbi Yechonon. Halacha Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. The halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. And Rabbi said in the name of Rabbi Nachman. Halacha kedivrei Chacham. The halacha is like the words of Chachamim. And Doch Rabbi Yechonon said this already one time. The Rabbi Bar Chana Rabbi Yechonon, because Rabbi Bar Chana said in the name of Rabbi Yechonon, Kol Moken, any place, Sheshana Rabbi Gamliel ben Gamliel, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, that you learned Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, the Mishnah saying in our Mishnah, Allah is like him. Chutz besides for May Arev, from a case of Arev, May Arev, from a case of Arev, of a guarantor, the Tzidon, and the case that happened in Tzidon, the Raya Achrayna, and the last case of proof, of bringing proof. And for the Gemara, Amoyroim, it is Amoyroim, meaning it's a machlokes Amoyroim, it's actually an argument between Amoyroim, Aliba de Rabbi Yechon, and according to Rabbi Yechon, meaning it's a machlokes between Amoyroim, according to Rabbi Yechon. What does Rabbi Yechon hold? Does Rabbi Yechon hold it as a general rule, like Rabbi Bar Chana said? Or is it only in specific cases, like Rabbi Abba Bar Yaakov said? And Rabbi Abba Bar Yaakov holds that it's only in specific cases. And therefore he said that this Mishnah is one of those specific cases, and that's why in this case, in this Mishnah, Rabbi Yechon said specifically, the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Because there's no general rule. It's specific and it applies in this Mishnah. Rashi. Arev. What is the case of Arev? Says Rashi. You can find it. Get Pashut in Perek, get Pashut in Maseches Baba Basra. Tzidon. What is Tzidon? The Maseches Gittin is discussed in Maseches Gittin. The case of the divorce. Re'oya, proof. Bedinim Aminas Hasheni. In the second din, din of money laws. Because they argued in two arguments. The Chacham and Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel had two arguments. When someone brings a document of proof, lister to contradict esadin, the judgment that was already decided. But Rishayna, in the first halacha, the first din, halacha, Kamaisa, the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. And in the last case, in the last case of Raya, ain't halacha, Kamaisa, the halacha is not like him. Amayrayin, it's actually a machlokes Amayrayin. What is the machlokes? Rabba Omar, Rabba says, Bichlol Omar Rabbi Yechon. Rabbi Yechon said it in a general rule. But Rabbi Abba Omar and Rabbi Abba said, Lav Bichlol Omar Rabbi Yechon. Rabbi Yechon did not say it in a general rule. Ella, rather, Yesh Mehen. There are from them, there are some cases, Shalach Kamar say that the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. And actually, our Mishnah is one of them. And with that, we conclude the entire Sugya. Wow, that was a Geshmaki Sugya, a small one. And it's Lacha Rabbo. Stay tuned for Sugya Chaf Aleph.